Trigger warning, this video contains violent and slightly gory details of someone being unalived. I don't go into that much detail, but just to let you guys know in case you're squeamish or something. Welcome back to a Craft With Me series. Who am I right now? I need to get back into my personality. Hold on. The camera goes on and I'm immediately a different person. Okay. Welcome back to my Craft With Me series. This is episode 10. It doesn't get better than this. What am I saying, bro? It's October, y'all. It's spooky season. I know I'm a little late for spooky season, but you guys won't judge me for that. You won't judge me for that. I know this is a safe space. Since it's spooky season, I decided to bring back the dream book. Guys, I don't have many dreams in this dream book. I only really write the serious, most confusing, and most emotional dreams in the dream book. Okay? I really only have a couple left. But let's go through them. I definitely want to become more in tune with my spiritual side. And maybe more dreams will be coming soon? I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see. But spooky season. It's episode 10. You should already know by now. But if you don't, this is a series where I make some fun stuff in Minecraft and just chat to become more sociable, open and confident with talking, and just, chillaxing with my online diary, which is my YouTube channel. Today we're building this little house. First of all, there's a couple things about this house. Okay? Number one, this did not come out of my brain. I took heavy inspiration from this photo I found on Pinterest. I will definitely try to find the artist on here, but when it comes to Pinterest, you never really know who's the real artist. I decided to throw in my own little mix, so I decided to do an evil eye version of this house. Before y'all run to the comments, chillax, okay? I know that an evil eye is not spooky or anything. To be honest, I grew up around evil eyes. My grandma always had them around the house, and in my household, we have one hanging above every single doorway. They weren't ever really creepy to me or spooky to me, but sometimes you get that occasional person that thinks that it's kind of creepy, and you have to explain to them what an evil eye actually is. So here's a quick explanation. An evil eye is actually supposed to protect you from evil energy. I sort of feel like this build is perfect for me telling you this dream, because this dream is pretty scary. I'm going to be reading you my dream in the form of a story so that you guys can really get into it. There are some confusing bits in this particular dream, but I'll explain as I go along. It's all right, you guys. I'll hold your hand and let's get into it. Let's get a little bit spooky. So yes, this is a real dream that I have had, and like I said, it's in the dream book because it garnered. Is that a word? It gave me such an emotional, visceral reaction. I don't know if I'm using any of these vocab words right, but basically I'm trying to say that it's in the dream book because it was such an emotional dream and such a terrifying dream that I could not let it go. And I just had to share it with y'all. And I had to share it with my future self so I can never forget it. I'm not saying that something spiritual happened here, but I'm suggesting that something spiritual happened here. I come from a spiritual family. I come from a spiritual background. That's just how we think. But if that's not how you think, then just enjoy it like it's a story. heading into the story in 3, 2, 1. It happened again last night. Another girl my age had gone missing. A heaviness fell over the village. People greeted each other with only a nod, staying close to their homes and keeping their daughters at their sides. The only sounds from the once lively village were now the wheels of an old wagon that passed by and the distant sobbing of the family who had just had their child ripped away from them. The newspaper boy stood quiet at the corner, selling the news we'd all dreaded. I handed over my coin in exchange for the paper. A look of tiredness pulled the boy's face down as we met eyes for a moment. It was another girl, not yet 14 years old, with long, beautiful black hair. Her name was in bold black lettering across the top of the paper. But somehow I can't remember what her name was. It was an extremely long name. And I'm wondering now if it was in a different language, because I could feel myself in the dream trying to understand what that word was. All I can tell you that I remember is that her first name started with a V and her last name began with an M. VM. Anyways, back into it. I'm so sorry. I swallowed my fear. No one spoke about it, but we all knew. She wasn't coming back. They never do. As night fell around the village, every parent boarded their windows and doors and prayed over their children. I dreaded sleep. I had been having these visions. Visions of the girls who had gone missing. I had seen VM's fate many times. In the first dream, and just to be clear, you guys, yes, I was having a dream within a dream, okay? I was approaching a large man bent over something in a darkly lit field. As I got closer and closer, I could see what he was looking at. I stood behind him now. He rose to his full height, taller than any man I'd ever seen before. And there VM was. I could see her so clearly. Tears stung in my eyes. She laid on the grass. Her body had been mutilated. There was blood everywhere. Her eyes were slightly rolled back, and her beautiful long black hair was chopped short and messy. I'll save you the rest of the details, but I swear to God, you guys, this image has been burned into my mind. Like, I can see her as I'm telling you the story, and it is awful. I turned toward the man. He was facing me now. A creepy handmade mask covered his face, but I could sense an air of confusion. He could see me. The dream faded, and I awoke suddenly. The next dream I had, within the dream, was even more terrifying and gut-wrenching. I felt a fear that I had never felt in a dream or in real life ever before and after. I crawled into my bed and tried to fall asleep, knowing another vision would come. And it did. I opened my eyes to darkness. I was panting heavily, trying to catch my breath, but the air was too thick. There was something over my head, covering my nose and my mouth. I feel a hand wrap around my ankle, dragging me through the dirt. Adrenaline pumping in my ears, my heart beating rapidly. I tried to scream, but all I can do is panic and hyperventilate. I can't breathe. I'm going to die here. I try to thrash, I try to move, but my hands are bound. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. The vision suddenly changes, and all I can see is a house in the middle of the woods, with no neighbors to be seen for miles, and the orange glow of one singular porch lamp through the fog. I woke up from that vision. The villagers had started a rumor that VM was a witch, and the devil had come to collect her. But I knew they were only saying those things because they were afraid. I also knew I couldn't tell anyone about my visions because I feared they'd say the same about me. Let's talk about it. This dream, do I even have to explain myself? It's crazy. And let's be clear, whenever a dream gets written in the dream book, I debunk everything about it. I hadn't watched any horror movies that night or that week even. Nothing I could have done in my daily life would have conjured up this dream. Believe what you want to believe, but this to me felt like something paranormal. I tried to Google this, hoping that a case would come up or something, but it's not really a good idea to just be Googling around unalived 14-year-old girls with the name VM. I'm so mad at myself for not really focusing or being able to focus in dreams. I know some people can do that and they remember a lot more about their dream when they wake up. But I am kicking myself for not being able to remember that name. I feel like that was such an important detail. And my brain always just poof. We don't need that information anymore. That's something I do want to practice for future dreams. I want to be able to remember those tiny little details and take note of them while I'm dreaming, because this seems like something important. I really wanted to point out why I saved this dream. It was so terrifying. Obviously, I've had nightmares before, but all of them can be debunked as, basic nightmares from maybe watching a scary movie or something. But this dream, I felt the adrenaline in the dream. I felt fear for my life. I felt all of these high emotions that I have literally never felt in a dream before or after. I've never felt this scared in a dream. The detail of being dragged through the woods, feeling every little branch, every little rock nick my skin, that will stick with me, and that will probably stick with me for a long time. I just thought I needed to share that dream with you guys. The last video I posted about my dream, it was well received. So I figured I might let you guys in on a little bit more of my dream book. Like I said, you guys, there's not a lot of dreams that I write down in the dream book, but I definitely want to get them all out there someday, just because I think it's kind of cool, and I would like to hear you guys' experience if you have crazy dreams like this too, and what it could mean, how you think I could hone in my skills on remembering my dream when I wake up. If you have any advice or any stories, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in episode 11 for another spooky dream and another spooky Minecraft build. Bye!